Don't you want me to say anything first? I have really nothing to say. I have no news to break. That's what I mean. I have nothing to say. I think everybody's still recovering from Sunday night. It should be a great environment for the opening of round two. The playoffs have been phenomenal, both in terms of attendance and viewership up here, and the aesthetics and the excitement and the competitiveness of the game. First round was great, and we're looking forward to a terrific second round. If the question is what brings me here today, I had to be in Utah this morning for the announcement of the team's name, the Mammoth, and the logo in the uniform. And I said, well, okay, so let's do some logistics. So I went to the game in Vegas last night. And while I was in the neighborhood, I went up to Salt Lake City. And while I was in the neighborhood, I figured I'd come here. And so I'm getting around and enjoying what I'm seeing. And with that, I'm happy to take questions. Or not.
Commissioner, welcome.
Thank
you.
You as well.
Winnipeg Jets tonight, I believe, will be their 13th straight sellout, dating back to the end of the regular season, the last 8 and all 5 in the playoffs. Attendance year over year jumped almost 1,000 per game. You paid a visit just over a year ago and obviously held court with some local businesses and season ticket holders. I just wonder, on a personal level, your thoughts on what you've seen kind of year over year in this market.
I don't think that the tickets is an issue. Buildings sold out, as you said, 13th straight sellout. I think the club, the organization, had to go through a process of transitioning the season ticket base. It's not the first time I've seen a club have to go through that. It's happened in other clubs where your fan base starts aging and you have to get it younger. And based on how quickly and how tickets were initially sold here, initially when the team came back, I didn't think it was a long-term issue. Obviously, fan support is the lifeblood of any franchise, but I've never worried about Winnipeg long-term. It was really more about repositioning what had to be done, and things are great. And, you have moments like Sunday night, that's going to be in people's minds for a long, long time, and a connection to the club and to hockey and to the city, because sports brings people together. The Jets brings people of Winnipeg together. It's part of the community. It's part of the quality of life here, and I think people recognize that. Okay. No, don't stress over this. It's okay. I'm happy to just go watch the game.
No stress. Speaking of watching the game, even both games, Saturday and Sunday, what can 2 Game 7s like that do for growing the game?
It all comes down to the game. And you've heard me talk about this over the year. When it comes to the competitiveness, our competitive balance, I think it's extraordinary. I think it's the best of the major sports. When you can market and promote all you want, but it comes down to the authenticity and the entertainment and compelling values that you get out of the game. When you think about the races, I mean, obviously the Jets won the President's Trophy, but when you look at the races that for some teams went down to the last game of the season, it tells you how meaningful our regular season is, and there is nothing in playoff sports like our first round, and I think that's what you saw today. And the games were unpredictable. We had no sweeps. We had 2 Game 7s. We had a couple of Game 6s. That's a testament to the game and the players and how the game is being played. And obviously, and I'm going to understate the obvious, you've got to watch down to the very last tick of the clock in our game to know what's going to happen.
What stood out to you about the year in Utah?
I'm sorry?
What stood out to you about the year in Utah?
The number of things, the reception has been phenomenal. I mean, whether it's the ownership group, Ashley and Ryan Smith, whether it's the governmental leaders at all levels who supported the club, whether it's the community, or most importantly, whether it's the fan base they developed, the number of things that they had to do to get up and running. It's only been 54 weeks since Ryan Smith and I had a handshake, okay? And in that time, they concluded a transaction that was never done before. They had to get a temporary facility. They had to get the players' hockey operations transferred over. They had to sell season tickets. They had to sell advertisers. They're in the process of building, which will be ready for next season, a permanent practice facility. And there were cranes and heavy machinery in the arena beginning the reconfiguration transformation of the arena. And they were able to deal with coming up with a name and a logo, which is spectacular, all at the same time. As I said today at the media avail, they're really good at multitasking. And frankly, we had high expectations for them, and they exceeded all of them. And it's been a great experience. I don't know if you've seen the logo or the name, but if you look at the logo closely, it is ingenious. You see the outline of the state of Utah. You see the mountains. You see one of the tusks, which is a U for Utah, and you see the mammoth. I mean, it's, as I said today, it was a little trite. They had a mammoth undertaking, and they checked all the boxes spectacularly.
What did it mean to get the Canadian TV rights deal done in advance?
What is it done?
What did it mean to get the TV rights deal wrapped up when you did? For the league, what did it mean for the league to get the TV rights deal?
What did it mean?
Deal? Yeah.
It meant that we continue to be the most compelling content on the Canadian landscape. I mean, we had the previous record, and we exceeded that almost exponentially. And it shows you the value of our game to not just the media outlets, but most importantly, to the fans and the viewers throughout Canada.
Asking this one on behalf of some fans who have had this question before. People have asked if the Jets might participate in a global series type game down the road. They were in the one in Finland a few years back. They have a number of international players, but no timeline, I guess.
No, because it's a work in progress continuously, like outdoor games. We have a long line of teams that have put their hands up and said we'd like to play, and we try and manage that process in a fair, orderly, and sensible way. You know, there are compelling reasons to potentially bring somebody somewhere at a given point in time, but no, they're always on our list, and they represented the league very well when we were in Finland. I remember being there for the games.
And then just one other one from me on an issue that I know hits close to home for some members of the Jets that were good friends with Adam Johnson, and obviously that on-ice tragedy. The issue of neck guards, I know Bill Daly's talked about it, and obviously with discussions going on with the PA on a new CBA, is that an issue that you expect is going to be delved into a bit further?
We are discussing it. I never find it constructive when I'm having discussions to get to a certain point to do that publicly, but we are obviously. That is something that the Players Association and we would have to jointly agree to, and it's something that is being discussed.
Just wondering as well, Mr. Commissioner, what when you
Gary works better than Mr. Commissioner. Sounds very formal.
Just wondering, like when you see some of the scenes in Winnipeg from Game 7 this past weekend, but even this
messes up the traffic here. A little, but yeah. Go
what
ahead.
kind of goes like through your head and all the other people at the top of the league when you see the way this community embraces the team here?
What goes through my mind is it's all good, right? It's the reason we have a team here. It's the reason Winnipeg is an important part of the league. And whether, the outdoor viewing games, and they now seem to be pretty normal, and the number of people that show up, and I suppose in my younger days it would be fun to stand outside with a group. But it goes to the point that sports brings people together. Not everybody at one of these outdoor viewing sessions, they don't know each other, but they're all part of the community, and everybody has something in common that brings them together, namely the Jets. And to me, that's all good.
And I'm just wondering, on another note, if you're paying attention at all to anything that's happening with the trial in London right now, and if you have any thoughts on that.
I see the media reports. Obviously the judicial proceedings will run their course, and a determination will be made.
What do you make of some of those reports?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment on them. I'll leave that to the authorities and those responsible for making that decision. And I don't have firsthand knowledge.
Thanks.
Gary, just wondering what kind of feedback you're hearing and what were your own thoughts about the changes to the draft lottery we saw on Monday?
It tells you that there is no incentive to lose games. It doesn't improve your position. That's why we have a weighted lottery. I don't believe we have, I know it gets all the attention. I don't believe our teams tank. I don't believe our coaches, our managers, or our players would stand for that. Everybody wants to win every game. But at the end of the day, when you see what happened in the lottery, it tells you that you need to play your best, because accumulating more lottery balls doesn't necessarily get you the result that you think you would otherwise get. So I think it bodes well for the integrity of the game and the system.
And the live format?
A live format, I think it was better. I think it was dramatic than the way we used to do it. It needs some tweaking, because the lottery, putting aside how we televise it, it's complicated. And we have to make sure it's more easily portrayed. And so we'll tweak it. But I think Steve Mayer's suggestion that we show it live was a good one. And so I think we'll continue to do it, but I think we'll continue to refine it so it's more easily followed. Although I thought the computer graphics where we were telling you who was eliminated and which balls for the fourth ball each team would need to win, I thought that was pretty good, but it probably needs a little more explanation.
I might have a tricky one for you with the administration Trump tariff. What do you see of the impact on the Canadian market?
Well, now it's a little unpredictable, because every time up until now that I've been asked the question, I've said, well, if it affects the Canadian economy and the Canadian dollar drops, that may create some issues, because the players get paid in U.S. dollars, even if they play for a Canadian team. Except since I've been saying that, the Canadian dollar has gone from 70 to 73 cents. So it's actually getting stronger. So the answer is, I don't think anybody knows, and we're just going to have to watch and see how it all unfolds. Hopefully, we're just dealing with a moment in time. Canada and the United States, great friends, great allies, great countries. Hopefully, this is just a moment in time.
Could this have an impact on the salary cap?
No. Well, if anything, salary cap is enhanced because the Canadian dollar is going up, and we do everything in U.S. dollars converted over. So, there weren't a lot of people who were predicting that the Canadian dollar would go. I've been doing this long enough that I've seen the Canadian dollar in the 60s, low 60s. I've seen it above par, and you just have to ride the wave, to use a surfing analogy. Yeah, we good? Enjoy the game. Should be fun. Should enjoy the series. Should be great. Thank you.